What if I told you these ruins aren't ancient? That this isn't some forgotten empire? No, this was a living, breathing town. It had homes, churches, busy streets. And then, just over 60 years ago, it all just vanished. So let's figure out what happened here.
Yeah, what you're seeing right now, these are the last remnants of a town called Guape in Brazil, a really bustling community that was just swallowed whole back in 1963. Its streets, its farms, all the memories, everything just drowned. It feels like it happened overnight.
So how does an entire town just disappear under a lake? I mean, that's the real mystery we're digging into. And you've got to understand, this wasn't just some random flood. No, this was a deliberate choice. A choice that sacrificed one world to build a completely new one.
And you know, the story of Guape, it really makes us ask a tough question. What is the real price of progress? It's a question we come back to a lot here. So if you're into digging up these kinds of hidden histories, stories that make you think, well, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next.
Okay, so to really get how a town could be drowned on purpose, we've got to rewind. Let's go back to the 1950s in Brazil. This was a time of just massive, massive ambition.
So, picture this. Brazil is industrializing at a breakneck speed. Factories are popping up, cities are growing. But there's one huge problem holding everything back: not enough power. The country was facing a massive energy crisis. So President Kubitschek's answer? It was absolutely monumental: the Furnas hydroelectric dam. This thing was supposed to be the engine that would power Brazil's future.
And right there, that's the heart of the conflict, isn't it? For the nation as a whole, this dam was a symbol of the future, a triumph of engineering. But for 34 towns, 34, that were sitting right in the flood path, it was the end of everything. And out of all of them, no town was going to pay a higher price than Guape.
So, while the country celebrated progress for the people of Guape, that promise quickly turned into a terrifying countdown to disaster.
You know, at first, people just couldn't believe it. I mean, it sounded impossible. One resident, Abraão Alves Andrade, he remembered trying to warn his neighbors, telling them what was coming. But how do you even process that? The idea that your entire world, everything you've ever known, is about to be underwater. It was just too surreal, too unbelievable to even think about.
And then, the day came. January 9th, 1963. The region was already getting slammed by heavy rains, and that's when the authorities made the call. The floodgates of the Furnas Dam were sealed. That was it. The clock had officially started.
The speed was just terrifying. The water didn't slowly creep in, it surged. People who were there said it was a frantic scene. This relentless tide rising about a meter, that's over 3 feet every single hour. Imagine that. There was no time to think, no time to plan. You just had to react.
It was pure chaos. I mean, families who waited even a little too long had to be rescued by helicopters, literally plucked from their own rooftops. You had tractors with steel cables just demolishing homes, trying to salvage anything before the water claimed it. People were fleeing with only what they could carry. Their livestock left behind. Entire plantations of rice and corn just gone.
And just like that, in a matter of days, a way of life that had been there for generations was erased, wiped off the map. All that was left was the silence.
The scale of the devastation is hard to wrap your head around. Before the flood, Guape was this thriving agricultural hub. We're talking fertile, flat floodplains, perfect for growing rice, beans, corn. After, the people who were displaced were moved to these rocky, acidic highlands, basically infertile land. The town just collapsed into a massive crisis. For nearly 10 years, the locals just called it a dead city. And the human cost was just staggering. More than 3,000 people. Think about that. A huge chunk of the population. They just left. They had to. Their homes were gone. Their farms were underwater. Their entire livelihoods had been washed away. They looked at this barren new landscape and saw absolutely no future there.
There's this one quote from a former resident, Estevan Lindolfo Cabral, that it hits you right in the gut. He talks about watching his neighbors, people he grew up with, lose everything. He saw them pack the little they had left onto an ox cart and just leave. They had no idea where they were going, no idea where their journey would end.
But here's the thing. The story of Guape doesn't end there, in tragedy. Because against all odds, the town began this slow, really painful process of reinventing itself from the ground up.
And this might be one of the most incredible parts of this entire story. Get this. The town's official motto, written on its flag all the way back in 1924, was Flutuares no afundarás. It means, you will float, you will not sink. It's like an unbelievable prophecy, written 39 years before the flood, of the very resilience they would one day be forced to show.
And they absolutely did float. Forced onto that rocky, useless land, they discovered it was rich in quartzite stone. Boom! A new mining industry was born. They figured out modern techniques to actually cultivate coffee in that once infertile soil. And then, in the biggest twist of all, they turned the very lake that drowned their past into the engine of their future. A whole new economy built on tourism.
But before they could really move forward, they had to say one last, really symbolic goodbye to the world they'd lost. And it happened in this moment that's basically become a local legend. As they moved the statue of their patron saint, St. Francis of Assisi, from the old, doomed church to the new one, they carried it facing backward, the entire way. It was looking back at the town it was leaving behind. It was as if the saint himself was taking one last look at the home he was leaving forever.
And this is Guape today, reborn on higher ground. It's now a peninsula, surrounded by the very water that tried to erase it. It's just an incredible testament to the town's unbreakable spirit.
That incredible tragedy, it's become their identity. The submerged ruins, they're now a destination for divers who come to explore this modern-day Atlantis. That very same lake now drives the whole economy. Boating, fishing, tourism. The town's population is growing again. And today, Guape is known all over Brazil, not for what it lost, but for what it became.
So that brings us right back to where we started. Guape floated, it did not sink. It's an amazing story of resilience for sure, but it still leaves us with that unsettling question. When we talk about progress, when we build the future, who gets left behind? And is the price those people pay ever really worth it?
What do you all think? It's such a complex legacy, isn't it? We would genuinely love to hear your take on this down in the comments. Thanks for diving into this story with us.